some in the Democratic Party are trying to put a stop, if not today, at least on tomorrow's ICE reign of terror by actually introducing a bill to abolish it. And so it's definitely not going to happen. Let's be very clear about that right now, at least, although the polls are moving in the direction of supporting that. But here's a representative arguing for why this bill should be passed.
Kristi Noem must be impeached. She must face the consequences of this. And we must, finally, we must reform ICE. But it looks at this stage, folks, ICE is beyond reform. ICE is totally out of control. And this week, I intend to introduce a bill to abolish ICE. We do not need the murderers. We do not need these paramilitary organizations, members on our street terrorizing US citizens, terrorizing moms, terrorizing our children.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's why I think it's like the compromise position is just abolishing it. We could go a lot further, and we should. But no, the idea that what are you're gonna reform it? You're gonna do an extra training session for the Proud Boys that are now ICE employees? You're gonna, no, burn it to the ground. Take away all of the money. You could set up immigration enforcement, which we had prior to ICE. Everybody thinks that like ICE was set up in like the 12th century or something. We did immigration enforcement before ICE. And there was already good reason to want it to be abolished before it became obviously Donald Trump's paramilitary personal army. That's all it is right now. It cannot be allowed to continue past this president. But I want to give you just one more clip. This is Representative Ilhan Omar focusing on one of the topics that Representative Thanedar talked about in that first clip, which is impeaching Kristi Noem. Take a look.
ICE's reckless actions have taken a mother from 3 children, a partner from a wife, and inflicted unfathomable pain on our community. My deepest condolences go to Renee's family, friends, and anyone who loved her. We will not stop fighting until we achieve real justice and accountability. That must begin with impeaching Kristi Noem and ensuring no federal agent can act as a judge, jury, and executioner on our streets. It must also include full and transparent investigation and legal action against ICE.
Yeah, and I think that the time to strike is now, and hopefully the time to actually get things done will continue into the next few years. But we could just briefly show you some of the polling. We've been talking about these polls the last few days or so. ICE's net approval is down 17 points from Trump's term. It was even, now it's a net negative. ICE enforcement is making US cities less safe, 51% say, more safe, 31% say, you sweet summer children, and having little effect, 18%, which also makes sense. I mean, they're killing people, but they're not doing much about the things that actually imperil people's lives other than ICE. And so I really hope that we see a continued push on this. I don't know. Let's say, Viviana, that the Democrats do take over the House, maybe even the Senate. Do you expect them to do anything, or is it gonna feel like 2020 all over again? What do you think?
I hate to be a cynic, John, but I feel like there's a lot of people that are still getting paid and they don't want to, upset the apple cart too much. And I think we have a really serious problem in this country when we have federal goons that will take over our cities and we have no means to protect ourselves. The governor of Minnesota, our governor here in California, had threatened to use the National Guard against ICE. It's not gonna happen. Let's not forget the thin blue line, John. That was intentional and that's been happening for decades now. They all back each other up, these law enforcement types. So they're MAGA too. And so we're expecting them to turn around. Some of them are. A lot of veterans and a lot of law enforcement are against what's happening. But we have a real serious issue, and I'm not sure that voting or politics is gonna change it right now. I think we are in the midst of a locomotive out of control, running off the rails, and we gotta see what happens and clean up the mess. I'm not sure that we're gonna have, they're gonna try, but I'm not sure. I hate to be cynical.
Well, and also, and as I said, and we'll end on this, they're going to try to make it so that voting doesn't even have a chance of changing the outcome, because there is no November that does not involve ICE being deployed into urban centers to start checking people's papers as they go to vote. All of it, and to create chaos, and there'll be tear gas, and there'll be a couple of shootings early in the day, just enough to terrify people, just enough to nudge the numbers a little bit. And so I don't want to do the show where we come the day after the election like, yeah, they did it. They did what we said we were going to do. National Guard didn't come to people's rescue, didn't save democracy. They just allowed it to happen. But it is really feeling like that, because I'm not seeing the level of opposition that would be necessary to stop it from happening.